What's up, traders? Welcome back. It's Kenya with BK Forex Academy, and let's go ahead and hop right into this training video. I'm going to be going over my highly profitable scalping and intraday strategy, which we have a 65-page training manual for it. If you go to briankenyahorton.com/shop, I'll also include the link below in the description. You will see that we have a 65-page manual right here on KISS 2.0 Market Structure Training Manual. Now, this is a highly profitable strategy, and I'm doing a top-down analysis on this pair in the live New York session because I like for all of you who are using this strategy to see any updates and also how I continue to find high probability setups. As you can see here, I'm on the monthly, and you can see that price is sort of ranging the last 3 months in between this support line that I have and also the support resistance line. So right at the price of 96.43 resistance and also 91.40 support. So overall, I do have a bearish bias on this pair. I like to include the 50 MA just for trend confirmation and trade below it when I'm in a downtrend, and you can see price is wicking right off of my 50 MA. So on the lower time frame, I do have a bearish bias. You can also see that we had an impulsive move to the downside on this pair off of the monthly. Price then retraced to give us a nice correction, and lately it has been ranging. So considering that, I'm going to keep mind of the monthly high and also the monthly low, and I'm going to jump down to the weekly, and now you can see more clearly what that price is doing. Now, one of the things that we do see here is that we also have an impulse move here on the weekly, followed by a flag pattern. So we have a bearish flag pattern here, and this is exactly what we were seeing today. So we might have a false breakout, it appears, possibly on this weekly time frame, but here is our flag pattern here, and what I'd like to see is that we get a nice continuation to the downside. Now, bearish momentum did start picking up this morning, and then it kind of slowed down in reverse. So what I wanted to see was that we had a breakout, and then we get a pullback into the previous support/resistance structure. So if we continue to drill down, one of the things that I'm going to be looking at, of course, is I'm going to look at my levels. So you can see here that this actually is a strong support zone. It was also resistance, and it was support, and it was also support. So if the price does break out, this would be the first TP area that I would be looking at. Now above that, I'm going to be looking at my weekly resistance. So if I clone this and I just bring it back here, actually this is my weekly resistance, but you'll see here that this was my previous weekly support. So considering that it was also resistance in this area, I'm going to use that area because I believe that this will continue to move lower. And if that happens, what I like to see is, since we did get a break of that, so I'm just going to go ahead and stretch that out so you can see more clearly here on the daily. We have our flag pattern, and you can see this bearish candle did start to pick up, right? We rejected right here the other day, and now we're getting a wick right off of this zone. You can see that this area too was also previous support, and it was also strong previous support. So I'd like to see, of course, for the price to head lower and pick up bearish momentum. Now, if we drill down to the 4 hour, we can see here on the 4 hour a little bit more clearly what's going on. So we do have a structure that's making lower highs and lower lows starting, and now we're getting a retracement back into this resistance. So right now on the lower time frame, I'm looking for an opportunity on the lower time frame because on the daily, I already told you that here is where we got a breakout of our support. So look here where we had support and we also had support. And now I like to see it come back. So it broke below that and it came down to 91.40 to wick off this area this morning. And now we're getting a retest back into this zone. So because we're getting a retest there, I would like to enter for a potential scalp/intraday opportunity. And what I'm doing is I'm keeping my eye on how the price is reacting in that zone. So now that it has reached there, I'm going to go ahead and delete that support zone. So now that we have gotten a retest back into this area, now ideally we like to be shorting from the strongest areas in the market. This would be my ideal area to have shorted from, right? But based on where I believe the price is going, I do want to see a pullback to a previous resistance, and it's close within that area. And this is also a very strong reversal area. As you can see here, all within this zone is a potential opportunity to re-enter. So considering that, I'm going to move down to the 4 hour. And now on the 4 hour, you can see more clearly the price action. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and mark my trend line this way. And also, I'm going to go ahead and add my 50 MA. Now you can see on my 50 MA prices below it. So I'm going to be looking for shorts because I told you overall that my bias was short on the lower time frame. So you can see we got a break to the downside this morning, right? Price wicked right off that area, and now it's giving us a retest back into that previous resistance. It was previous resistance last 2 times on both these 2 4-hour candles. Also on this support here. So we have support right here, and then look at this support here and how much the price swung. So now what we're going to be doing is watching the price and how it reacts to this area as it moves into this resistance zone. So now that the price is here in my target area, the next thing that I want to do is I want to add my KISS confirmations. So I am scalping. I'm going to go ahead and move down to the 1 hour. Now you can see more clearly my 1 hour structure. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out my 1 hour. So I'm just going to bring my trend line out a little bit so that because it can move anywhere within this zone and bounce off of it. But you can see here previously, we already looked at this from the higher time frame, and now you can see price retesting these 1 hour resistance candles, and it was also support. It was also support multiple times, okay, and it was also resistance. So this would be a great place for a scalp. So now I'm going to add my KISS confirmations. And I'm going to look at the 5 minutes. So beautiful. This is what we want to see. Everything pointing up. I'm going to look at my 5 minute. There's my 5 minute confirmation right there. So notice how I started with price action. I started with a blank chart, naked chart, no indicators. I added the 50 MA for confluence much later after I did my analysis and determined where I wanted to make my entry. Now I add my indicators for confluence. All right. So we don't rely on these indicators to get us into the trade. We just want to see that everything is nicely aligned. We have a 1 hour structure that's making higher highs and higher lows. So here's our high followed by our low, followed by a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, and we continue to follow the market structure. We have a high here, we have a low, and now price is retesting this previous high. If this follows the market structure on the 1 hour for scalping, it should not break this previous high, okay? So that is where we get our high probability setup. And now you can see the 5 minute. Once your 5 minute is confirmed on the KISS confirmations, which again is highlighted in this training manual right here, okay? Lots of testimonials on this strategy. And you can also follow in our Telegram below in the description. You'll see that I drop trade ideas in there as well. And we teach this inside of our academy to our students. I show you exactly how to be profitable with this strategy. So look here, this is your 5 minute. Once that 5 minute MACD crosses, because when this MACD crosses, that's confirmation that the trend is changing on this time frame. Once you have a 5 minute MACD cross, you're going to move to the 15 minute and you want to see the same thing play out. This is exactly what you want to see. A nice Bollinger Band confirmation, okay? You have your RSI at the 70, preferably at the 80 level. And then everything is pointing up, starts to nicely turn, and it's bouncing off of your reversal zone. This is exactly what you want to see. And now you can see that this is a profitable trade from start to finish. This is already in profit. So one of the things that I do to maximize my profits is I trade pullbacks. But as you can see from the top of that wick, this has already went 21 pips in profit. Okay. So this would be a profitable trade. Now I am in this actual trade right now live inside of my account. I'm not going to show you my results because honestly, that doesn't even matter. You guys know that I'm profitable. You follow me. For those of you who have followed a long time, you see it yourself. And all you have to do is follow exactly what I'm giving you, document it, and you can see how profitable this system is. I don't need to lure you with profits. I'll leave that to other people in the industry. We are over that. We know exactly what we need to do to be consistently profitable. It's really learning the system, nailing down risk management, and becoming a master when it comes to risk management. Okay. So let's talk about risk management and where you would place your stop. All right. So one thing that's really important is that you have to journal your outcomes. You have to journal your outcomes. There's so many traders who are not journaling, and that's the only way you're going to know where you've been, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are. If you don't document, you're not going to know how the system works. You're going to get scared every time you trade it. You're going to close trades as soon as you get into profit when you've only been in like 10 pips drawdown. So make sure you document. All right. Now, as far as your risks, now if we're scalping, we could be very conservative. Now, this is a GBP pair, so understand that these pairs wick pretty aggressively. But if this follows the 1 hour structure, and we know that this is our previous 1 hour resistance, it really shouldn't break above that, right? Now, I do like to trade below the 50 MA when I am trading shorts, and I do like preferably dropping my stop above the 50 MA, but every opportunity is a special situation because it's going to depend, okay, how far is price from that actual 50 MA? In this case, this is 60 pips away. I don't believe that it's going to go that high. So based on what I'm seeing in my own sentimental analysis, I probably would do a more conservative stop above this 1 hour high, away from it enough to give it enough room to breathe. Okay. So let's say if the price came to about right here, right? And we have our 50 MA here. My stop would have been outside of the trend line above the 50 MA. So giving the trade enough room to breathe. What you don't want to do is you don't want to be risking 30 pips to only make 5 pips. You don't want to do that, right? But one of the things that I like to do with scalping is I like to lower my lot sizes. Okay, so I could probably be making a lot more money, but I preferably have found a winning way to do it, and that is lowering my lot size and widening my stop loss. So a lot of times I just like to do a 50 pip emergency stop and then I execute on the trade. It gives me enough room for the trade to breathe, and then I just trade the momentum of what I'm seeing. That's how I do it, and that's how we teach our students in the academy, and it works very effectively. So guys, you have to find what works for you, but I hope that this step-by-step analysis and update was very helpful for you on this strategy. Comment below in the description. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, follow the market structure every single time. This is a market structure trading strategy. You always want to find your directional bias on the daily, which we did that, okay? And then you jump down to the lower time frame. If you are intraday trading, you're simply going to jump to the 4 hour. So as you can see here on this 4 hour time frame, I'm going to remove this 50 MA. You can see we still have a descending structure, right? We still have a descending structure. You're getting a pullback back into that previous 4 hour resistance. You have a downtrend. And if I simply want to add my 50 MA, this is a 50 regular MA, smooth MA. So I like to keep this on my chart and trade with it. Now, ideally, like I said, I'd want to be shorting a little bit higher, but based on what I'm seeing, if I continue to see rejection in this area, and I see that this was also a previous reversal zone, okay, multiple times, even off this 4 hour resistance, if I continue to see that, I'm going to short. All right, my overall bias is to sell. So I'm going to be looking for short opportunities. So it's really based off of what the price action is telling you. Now, if price would have moved into this area and would have showed bullish strength, then I wouldn't have entered the trade. All right, simple as that. So you look for your entry confirmations as price enters the zone. Again, guys, I hope you found this helpful. Comment below. Let me know what takeaways you have from this or what questions you have. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.